Craft beer twat checklist. Beer, check. Matching glassware, check. Merchandise for good measure, check. Beanie, no, we can omit that. Fat edge, you see. Oh, it's recording. Oh, you'll edit this out, won't you? Cheers. Alright folks, and welcome to another beer review. And it feels like I've missed out a word in that sentence. Who cares? So today we are going over to Black Lodge out of Liverpool, and this is a can of Followed Tock, which is a stout that they released on St. Patrick's Day. As the name would suggest, a reference to another dark liquid, which I shudder to think how much Guinness got consumed over, like, even just before and then just after St. Patrick's Day. I was lucky enough to go to the brewery, or the tap room, well, the brewery's there as well, with my good friend Adam, Mersey Beers, because Beer X was on, and they were doing a few fringe events around the city. Started off at, can never remember what the place is called, Turncoat. As soon as I say that, the name comes into my head. Started off at Turncoat because they were doing a Colonel tap takeover, and then we went over to Black Lodge. Had this on tap as well as a couple of other beers. Surprisingly empty, although I think there were people over there. I think there were people outside in the beer garden. And then we went to Carnival afterwards, took an Uber, and then we went to a couple of other places, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, we're not here to talk about a Liverpudlian jaunt, although as someone who on the channel has always gone on about, oh, I love going to Manchester, Manchester's such a great beer city, blah, 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 blah. Liverpool is just producing some absolutely great breweries, not just in Liverpool, but in the Merseyside in general. There's some great places popping up. There's some great places that have been there for ages, and it's a good place if you want to have a proper little piss up. And yeah, and Black Lodge for me are arguably my favourite brewery from Merseyside. A couple of other notable ones, Chapter, although that's more Runcorn. You've got Carnival, and then Asvex, of course, are now in Liverpool. Well, the guy from, is it Neon Raptor, started up at Asvex in Liverpool. And yeah, just some great places. Oh, we went to Dead Crafty as well. Yeah, it's just a good beer city. And yeah, I've enjoyed each time that I've been there recently, with very good company indeed. Anyway, I've not even opened the beer at all yet. Does it have any information on this? So the hops are Bramling Cross, malts are pale, malted wheat, brown, roasted barley and chocolate. So this is clocking in at 4.5%, so it's a bit of a sessioner. Adam's going to kill me because this is straight out the fridge. I picked this can up obviously directly from Black Lodge, but it was part of their monthly subscription box, where like every other month I think you get like you get like beer snacks with your order anyway, but then like every other month you get like a little bit of merchandise. And then at the 12th month, you get like a little sort of like keychain fob where you get 20% off at the tap room. And we'll see if I can commit to a beer subscription for that long. Not to shit on other people, but I sure did waste a lot of money with Beer 52, didn't I? And I might have got more beers per box for roughly around the same price, but the quality was just way too inconsistent for me. But I'm not going to shit on them because I don't like doing that in other, beer brewery related videos. I don't like that whole thing, well, it's much better than such and such, or blah, 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 blah. Address that in a video related to that. Although I've just shat on Beer 52. But that being said, picked up some really good beers from Beer 52 over the time that was part of the subscription. And yeah, you get like 2 cans of each beer. You get like, how many did I get? Well, 2 of this. Is it 6 or 8 cans? Can't remember. I got Tubo glass, even though I've already bought one. So I've got 2 Black Iris Tubo glasses. Got the beer snack, obviously. And yeah, I'm at that point now where it comes to buying beer. I'm happy to buy the same beer multiple times now. I'm sort of, if anyone from Black Lodge is watching this, I do apologise that I've not even opened the can yet. But yeah, it's like I'm starting to really appreciate buying a really good beer you've enjoyed multiple times as opposed to just chasing a new release or that sort of stuff. Not to say that I don't do that, because I did very drunkenly pick up some cans from Dead Crafty, which I didn't look at how much I got charged. It just put me in my overdraft a little bit, but then again, didn't really have that much money in my account at the time. Luckily, payday was the following, or a couple of days afterwards, so didn't burn me too much. Plus, I do find when I buy, like make orders for just solely new beers, I do tend to spend a bit more. Whereas I'm enjoying buying like a 4-pack of a beer. Seems like such an alien concept, doesn't it, really? But yeah, no, I enjoy buying directly from breweries as well. So the multi-packs, right at you. But I said that's not to say I won't go, oh, that looks like a pretty beer. Oh, and so does that, and so does that. Do you know what? I'll get all of them and I'll just randomly pick up this can as well. Anyway, you're probably all fucking asleep right now, but I do apologise. So, should we get the beer open? It's probably at room temperature now. I've been waffling on for that long. It's actually gone warmer than room temperature. But yeah. But yeah, the staff at Black Lodge, really nice and approachable as well. I'd like to say the whole sort of industry is like that, but there are some times where people aren't necessarily standoffish, but they've got a job to do, haven't they? They've got beers to pour, they've got like merchandise to get from the back, they've got all sorts of stuff that needs to be done in a tap room, bar, pub. But yeah, they just had some interesting conversations. It was pointed out that Black Lodge Press isn't actually part of Black Lodge. It's like an independent artist in Northern Ireland, if I remember correctly. Can't remember the girl's name behind the bar I was talking to, but she had a really cool sweatshirt that was based on that idea of like in, I can't remember what era or decade it was, but when shops would have like no Irish, no blacks, no whatever. And it was like the complete opposite of that, and I just loved it. I loved the sentiment. Anyway, people are probably going to go, why are you talking about social causes in your beer reviews? Because I care, that's why. Anyway, so beer in the glass then. We're only 10 minutes in, and yeah, pretty much jet black, a film of a slightly beige looking head. Artwork looks great on the glass. Very nice indeed. I'd like to actually find out who does the artwork for Black Lodge, because it's such a sort of like a unique and striking identity. And even though I can't really stand the TV series, always reminds me of Twin Peaks. You don't like Twin Peaks? No, because it's just a stupid, dumb program. And the times I've tried to get into Twin Peaks, I've just found it funny. And I find that a lot with, have I had this conversation before? Probably have. But I find that with a lot of David Lynch's work. It's just stupid and weird for weird's sake, but people laud it as like actually meaning something. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That's not to say I don't like David Lynch. I think he's a wonderful person. He's very talented. He's a great artist. He's a good musician as well, because I think he was involved in the soundtrack to Eraserhead, which is my favourite David Lynch film. I really like that film. That's a good film, that. But some of his other stuff, it's just not for me. Not for me. But it's the fact that people like laud it as like, oh, this means something. It's like, it's like people who cry at paintings. Fuck off. Don't. If you see a piece of artwork that moves you to tears, then that's a wonderful feeling. But I've never cried at a painting. I've cried when trying to paint and then seeing what I've produced. But anyway, we won't talk about my inner demons. I think we should just get on with the beer review. And it smells absolutely bang on. 3, 2, 1. Cop out tasting note. Very stouty. Crystalia reference. But yeah, really nice, roasty, a little bit of chocolate in there, like sort of like hot chocolate powder. A little bit of baker's chocolate. Nobody says baker's chocolate anymore, do they, when they do beer reviews? When's the last time you saw someone pick out lychee in an IPA, by the way? And God, look at that hair. Oh, Ed Sheeran. Fucking wish I was Ed Sheeran. Well, I don't, because he's a knobhead, but I'd happily have his money. And even though his music is wank, I wouldn't mind his talent. But yeah, it's really nice and aromatic. A very robust smelling stout. And even though it's chilled down, you smell it and it gives you a sense of warmth and coziness. And there's chavs driving on scooters outside again. Crash. Don't injure anybody else. Just crash. Maim yourself. Don't want you to die, because don't want anyone to die. But lose a leg. Sorry, call coming through. Lose a leg, lose a limb, have a slanty face afterwards because of nerve damage, but don't die. But crash, please, because you've got no... Anyway, just shut up and drink the beer. Body is just exactly what you'd expect for a stout of this ABV. I was talking, when me and Adam were in Black Lodge, we were talking about this and we were drinking it, obviously. We both had one hand under the table, massaging each other's thighs, but Adam doesn't want me to talk about that, apparently, because he's ashamed. But, and I think Adam and myself came to the conclusion that it's almost got like a bit of like a porter body as opposed to a stout, and drinking it now, again, I think, I can't remember this conversation, I could be talking out of my anus, as I usually do, but it's got like a little bit of a mild character to it, and I've got me blue workman's jacket on. I like me milds. Fred Dibner, rest in peace. Brother's playing guitar upstairs. Don't know how much you can hear that, but he's a talented boy, so I'm okay. And he's stopped playing as soon as I start talking about him. I'm going to get twatted. But yeah, it's got loads of flavour, this. What it lacks in body, which isn't a bad thing because you're expecting it, it's a lower ABV stout. We've got this sort of like almost precedent that every stout has to be, oh, it's so thick and gloopy, it's like ice cream syrup. No, not all the time. It's still got bags of flavour, nice roastiness to it, there's a nice bitterness on the back end. Getting a really nice, I've said nice 3 times in quick succession. Read a dictionary or a thesaurus. It's got a really nice, he's done it again. Chocolatiness to it. Like a melted, is that 80% or 75% cacao? Could be 60% actually. It's like, it's got this sort of like flavour of melted dark chocolate. Like I said earlier, just like it smells, it tastes stouty. But there's just bags full of flavour in this. I think when we had it at the tap room, obviously because it was straight out the keg, a lot more colder and a lot more chilled. Which at the time I still really enjoyed it, but this is... So I'm usually really put off by low ABV stouts because they don't have the flavour, and that compared with the light body, you're just getting a really mediocre lower ABV stout. A lot of the time, not saying that I haven't had some really good ones, but yeah, I think this is, the smokiness is building up on the back end. Well, it's not smoky, it's roasty. It's a really roasty tasting stout as opposed to a smokiness. There are elements of smoke in there, but yeah, this is really damn good, and I'm glad that I've got another can of this. So thank you for sitting through this absolute garbage beer review. That was Tick followed Tock. As someone who actually likes pints of Guinness, obviously I'd take this any day over Guinness, and I hope that they brew this regularly because I think it's just a really well-rounded, flavoursome, robust, yet not too much stout, and for its ABV, completely leaves a lot of other similar style stouts in the shade. So I would very much recommend you check these out. You can buy, they do national delivery, and they're always sort of like releasing taster boxes. So if you've never had anything from Black Lodge, I'm not getting paid for this, so this is just solely off my own back. They do like sort of like an introductory box. That's not the proper word. Where you get like, I think it's about 10 cans or something of different beers. Maybe some of them are like you get 2 of one, which is not a bad thing, especially if you want to share it with a friend. Why would you ever share beer with a friend and not just drink it all for yourself? That's probably why I don't have friends, and that's why I cry myself to sleep every night after an hour's session on OnlyFans. But again, we're not going to talk about my inner demons. That's for my counsellor to dissect. But yeah, Tick followed Tock from Black Lodge. Link in the description to their brewery and their socials. I've reviewed quite a few beers now on the channel. Massive thank you to Adam for introducing me to these guys. They've been, the more I drink them, the more I enjoy them. The tap room is my kind of tap room. It's up there with, you know, the likes of Track's tap room, the likes of Daya's tap room. Carnival's got a nice tap room as well. A Cloudwater, if you like vegan cheese and meditative music and having someone talk to you while you're in the toilet. If that's your bag, that's fine. I do like Unit 9. If that's your bag, that's fine. I do like Unit 9. If that's... I won't carry on. But yeah, lovely stuff. Why have you wasted all this time watching this beer review? You're not going to get anything by reaching the end, aside from your own sort of a question, your own sort of like mortality and whether if life is worth it or not. But I'm glad you have stuck around, because the days might be getting a little bit longer, but the nights get a little bit lonelier. Acting. Thank you for watching. You all take care. Stay safe. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below, and I shall hopefully see you all next time for another beer review. Bye bye.